Okay, we're going to deprogram this knob up here, which we were using for the aux1 channel 8 in my setup, which controlled the rigid head gain, the head gain on during the setup process while I was adjusting everything and fine-tuning it. You could also use that for your real-time tuning. Again, I set up a secondary model. I'll show you what I mean. When I'm setting up, I have one that's called gain, and I have one that's called horizon, and then this one up here is also horizon, but I have an additional idle up condition, so that just differentiates for me. And then I've got one here that's set up for my sim, and then what we're using is the train. Now remember, what we did earlier is we used the gain one, and we made a copy of that, which means it has all the same settings of what we were just setting up the helicopter with when we were fine-tuning it. Now we're going to go into that one that we copied, and we're going to deselect what we have programmed up here. And so the way you do that, again, you have a shortcut menu. If you've already set up your shortcuts, I'm going to go to function, and I'm going to go to channel 8 on page 2, which is the aux1, and I'm going to select RD, which is this knob up here, and choose that and go backwards to get to this double dash line here. And all I'm going to be doing is selecting that, which took that channel off of there. So now I know that aux1 is not associated with this knob anymore. The way you verify that is you go to the home screen, go to the servo screen, whoops, go to the servo screen, and now when I turn that knob, it doesn't do anything on channel 8. It just sits there and it's static. So now I'm going to go back here. Next thing you want to do in order to assign horizon and bailout is you have to set up your programmable mixes in the radio. Again, I'm using this switch here for my for horizon mode, and I'm using this momentary switch for rescue. That's just because as I fly, I pinch, and everything is accessible with all of my fingers. If I'm flying around and I want to go in horizon, all I gotta do is reach up here. Right there I'm in 17% horizon mode. Right there I'm in 40%. Back up and I'm back to normal. If I want to rescue, I got this finger back here that's always on the trigger. All I gotta do is hit that, and then my throttle hold is this one up here. So rescue, throttle hold, and then horizon. That's just the way I like it set up. Obviously it's user definable however you want it for your setup. Alright, so you need to set up your programmable mix to associate with these two switches, rescue and horizon, and you also need to set up the values so that it actually works when you go into the software. When we're done setting it up here, I'll put the camera back on the software and then activate those switches, and you'll see how they actually work and what it's supposed to look like when you've got it activated correctly. So from here, I'm going to go back into my shortcut menu. I'm going to go to the programmable mix, and I'm going to create my programmable mix. It starts off just saying inhibited, aileron to elevator for everything. So I think somebody out there, once I read, has a little different way of doing it. I think it works fine like this, so this is what I do. If you find a simpler process, by all means, do whatever works for you. So I come into here, my first programmable mix. I'm going to come down here to the y-axis, and I'm going to say, I'm going to give this a negative value of 17, just because I know that that's what I want to use. It's a good value for me. Then I'm going to go to page 2, and right now it's inhibited, but we're going to go ahead and activate this. Yes, I'm sure. And the switch that I want to associate with it is going to be SC, which is right up here. So I've already got that selected, and I'm going to come over here and excuse me, I've got SC selected. Then you have to come over to the on-off screen and make sure that it's actually how you want it. So in the up position it's off, 17% it should be on, and in the down position it should be off, because I don't want 17% right there. I only want 17 in the middle. And the way you could change that, if it was different, just go back to that screen there, scroll down, select it, and then roll that around, and then you could change it to however you want it based on the switch that you're using. But mine was good already this way, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. Then we're going to go back to the top, and there, and there, and the very top. Okay, now we have, oh, I forgot to do one thing. When you come over here, you also need to go to, you need to change it to from elevator to your auxiliary channel. So you'll scroll through until you get to auxiliary 1, and there it is. So I'm going to save that, and then now I'm good on this one. So this mix is good. On the next one, and see, if I hit the switch, it's off because it's down. If I go in the middle, it'll be on. If I go up, it'll be off. So now I want to program my 50%, so I'm going to go program another mix, and I'm going to come down here to the y-axis, and I'm going to give that a negative 50, or excuse me, 40 is what I use, and I'm going to lock that value in. I'm going to go to page 2, I'm going to activate that. I've already got my SC switch up there, but I'm going to select it anyways. I'm going to come over to the on-off and just verify that's off, off, on, because I want 40% to be associated with the down position, so that's good. So I come back up to the top, go back there, go back up to the top, and then come down here as well and change elevator again to auxiliary 1. And then I'm going to go to the very top, and it takes me back to the mix screen, and here I'm just going to verify them again, that all the way up they both say off. In the middle, the top one, which was 17%, should say on, and then when I go down, the top one will go off, and the number 2, which is 40%, will go on. So they're switching, so I know that switch is correct. Then this switch is now programmed and it's done. Now I want to program the bailout switch, which on my radio, bailout switch is switch SH. So we're gonna go up there and program another one. This is going to be a positive 100%. So we just take that all the way up, select that, go to page 2, inhibit it, or it's already inhibited, we're going to activate it. It's already set to SH just because I had it there earlier, but again, you need to go in there, make sure it's on the right switch, and then make sure it's right now. The off position is when you let go, it's a spring-loaded momentary switch. The on position is when it's selected, so that's good. So I'm just going to go back up to the top, switch out of that, make sure I'm on the top, go back, and then I'm going to go down here and it's the same thing. I'm going to change that elevator to aileron, or excuse me, to auxiliary 1, and come back up here, and now it shows I still have my horizon switch on, off, and then now my momentary bailout switch is on only when I push it. When I let go, it comes off. I want to do one more of these because in order to get that value in the HeliCommand, for whatever reason, you have to have the 100% value in there twice in order to get the amount of output that you need for the HeliCommand to actually go into the negative amount. One thing that I missed actually is that you have to also reverse the channel for this, only for this function in the radio, in order for it to work properly, just for Futaba. So you come on here, we'll do the next one first, and then we'll go deal with that. So we come back in here, we assign another one to positive 100%, we say OK, go to page 2, we got our switch, I need to activate that, go to our switch, make sure that it's still doing the momentary switch is accurate, which it is. Go back to the beginning, change this from elevator to aux 1, select, go to the very top, and now both of those will come on. You've got 100 and 100 there. Now what I was talking about a second ago is, we'll go back to the main screen, I'll go to the reverse menu, and here you need to make sure that your aux1 is reversed on channel 8 so that these are working in the right direction when you actually go through and are using it with the software and obviously the model when you're in flight. So that's the only channel other than throttle. Throttle is reversed on mine. That has to do with my ESC, has nothing to do with HeliCommand, so don't even worry about it. On here though, for the horizon and bailout, you need to have reverse on the auxiliary channel that you use, so whether that's channel 7 or channel 8. Go back to the home menu. I want to check these out by going to the servo screen, and here when I hit horizon, I could see that it goes from 0 to 20 and 47 is what it says, and then when I go to hit the bailout, it's minus 135. Now we're going to go to the actual software and see how that corresponds to the software.